everybody? Welcome back today for another video. I wasn't actually going to do a video today, but I came out to start the Mustang and the battery was dead. It's a little weird considering this car has brand new battery in it. I just bought the battery, and last time I started it was 2 days ago, so a little bit weird if you ask me as to why the battery is dead. So I started going through, and if you guys don't know how to do like a current draw test, I'll show you. But you know, normally you want like less than 0.1 amps between the terminals. You're always going to have some type of draw just because there's modules in the car and everything that do draw from your battery while the car is off. So it's pretty normal to have a little bit of a draw, but I had more than that. So I'm going to show you guys what's going on, and I'll show you how I diagnosed it, just in case you guys have a draw on any vehicle you guys have. This will work on. So yeah, let's hop right into it. All right, guys, so the first thing I did, right, when you check for a current draw, you want to take the negative terminal off. You want to put your ohms meter in amps, 5 amp max, and then you're also going to have to switch over your terminal, your positive terminal, from there to the amp terminal. And as you can see, if I put this on the negative side over here, you want one prong you want on the negative side, and then the other one you want on the positive side. It's a little bit hard to do this with one hand, so just bear with me, but we'll get it. So as you can see, there was no spark there, no spark, right? And I only have a 0.07 draw, which is fine because, you know, whenever I touch this, I do hear something activating in the car, which actually it could very likely be that the trunk's open. So let's just close this really quick. All right, so I got the trunk closed. And yeah, so that's exactly what that was. So I got no current draw now whatsoever, and that's going to be because the trunk was open. So as you can see, no current draw whatsoever. That's what we're after. So I'm going to go plug back in what I know is the issue, and I'll show you guys where I started and then where I ended up. So like I said, as you can see right now, there's no draw whatsoever, and that's what we're after. You know, if I had a radio in here, there probably would be a current draw, but I took the radio out because I'm going to wind up getting something different. So I don't have any radio or anything. So it was kind of a mystery to me as to why I was drawing. I was drawing 1.19 ohms, but it was spiking like very, very high, and then it was coming back down. So let me go plug the stuff back in that I know is the problem, and I'll show you guys exactly what's going on. All right, guys, so I plugged everything back in, and I'm just going to touch these together, and I'm actually going to show you. I don't know if you could hear that, but it's like sparking as I'm touching it. Right there. So I don't know if you guys can actually hear that, but it's sparking. And as you can see, there's a 0.19 draw on the battery right now. So what I did to figure that out was I started by pulling every one of these fuses and then tracing back as to what the fuse goes to. So I pulled this guy right here. That fuse is for your radio, and this fuse is for your headlamps. So somehow that ties together with that fuse. I'm not too sure how, because just pulling the one fuse, I still have a 0.07 draw. So I know this fuse is for the radio, so that tells me that something's going on with the radio. But obviously I just showed you guys there's no radio in this car, so it doesn't make any sense. But it will in a minute. So I pulled both of those fuses, and now I got no draw at all. And then we'll put the fuses back in, you know, this one right here. Then we'll put the radio fuse back in, just like that. And then I'll show you guys that now we're gonna have our draw again. And I don't know if you guys saw that, but look at how high it spikes. Spikes all the way up to 0.34. Okay, so now your next step is to pretty much go through the whole car. So you got to know what's on your circuits. So I know these are, I know the one fuse is for the radio and the other one's for the headlamp circuit, but it's also tied into like the horn and everything. So show you guys exactly what my problem is. But what you're going to want to do, you know, when I first came back here, I knew it was on the headlamp fuse. So I unplugged the wires to the tail lights on both sides, didn't make a difference, nothing like that. So this car actually has the factory Mach 460 sound system, which has 2 amps, one there and one there. I didn't figure out which amp is bad yet, but I unplugged all the wires going to the amps and I lost the whole entire current draw. So I know that one of these amps is pulling power from my battery, which is causing my car to die. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unplug each amp individually and we're going to figure out which amp is actually no good. I probably won't put these back in because I'll do an aftermarket amp and just have 4 speakers. I'm not going to have a sub or anything in this car, so it would be kind of nice to have an aftermarket amp that I can adjust, you know, just for better sound quality and everything. And we can actually get rid of this ginormous box then, because, you know, this is going to be a track car, so we don't need all this added weight. So let me unplug one of the amps and then we'll go back up front and see what the draw is. All right, so I unplugged the 1 amp and let's see. Yeah, so we still have a 0.07 draw, but again, the trunk's open. So we're gonna close this trunk really quick, just like that. And let's see if the draw completely goes away how it was before. Still drawing 0.07 amps. So that's not good. I mean, that's within the acceptable range, but I would like to see no draw at all, just because there's no radio in the car, so it really shouldn't be drawing much. So let me unplug some more stuff back here. I'm gonna unplug both of the amps now, and then we're gonna go back up front and see what's going on. All right, guys, so I unplugged every amp back there. And I still have a 0.07 draw. So we're going to see which fuse is causing that issue, and I bet you it's this one right here. That's actually a ignition fuse or something. Yeah, so now we don't have any draw whatsoever. So if I put this there, touch that there, yeah, there's no draw. So just so you guys can see that, there's no draw at all with that ignition fuse pulled. So that's probably pretty normal, I would imagine. You know, it could be like charging the capacitors in the computer or something, is what my guess would be. Alright, so actually now I don't have any draw, so maybe that is what it was. Yeah, so it's like 0.06, which is acceptable like draw for a car. It's not going to be the end of the world, but I do know for a fact that those amplifiers are definitely bad because they're drawing the current. They're what's causing my battery to die. With those plugged in, you see a big spark, as opposed to, you know, the little bit of draw that I have, the 0.06, that's not even causing a spark. So that tells me that those amps have either a capacitor bad in them or an internal short or something that's causing them to draw power. So gonna have to take those out. I don't want to replace them, but I'm gonna probably just take them out, remove them, put my own amp in. It's not really a big deal. It's not the end of the world. But yeah. All right, guys, so here's our culprits right here. These are the stock Mach 460 amplifiers. I removed them obviously from the car. These I remember seeing somewhere that these do have issues, so it doesn't surprise me that that's what my issue is. We still have that very, very minor 0.07 draw, but I know that it's normal to have a somewhat of a draw, especially on a car. You know, you have all electronics in there and stuff, but we cut the draw by more than half. So I don't think it'll have an issue. I think that draw that we have now is completely normal because I do hear like a relay click whenever I, you know, put the battery terminal on and stuff. So there probably is something in there that just has a natural draw, which, you know, isn't necessarily a problem. But I don't even know if this thing's going to start because I had to jump start it before. But let's see. Yeah, so it started right up. Alright guys, so that was just a really quick video to show you guys how to check for a draw. If you're having problems with your car not starting in the morning, you know, after it sits for a period of time, like, you know, a day or so, or sometimes even longer if you have a very, very small draw. The acceptable range for like a draw is, I think, like 0.03 to 0.07. So we have a 0.0667-ish draw, which I see as normal. I don't think we'll have any issue with that. But yeah, my draw was caused by the Mach 460 amps. So if you guys have a Ford with a factory like high-end stereo, that's more than likely what your problem's going to be. It's going to be something stupid like that. So for me, luckily with my car, I'm not going for a show car. I'm going for a race car. So none of that shit's going to be in there anyways. We're just going to put a couple speakers in there just so we have a little bit of a radio that we can listen to while we're driving. But I'll just take them out and I'll put my own amplifier in. It's not a big deal. But if you guys like what you saw in this video, it's just a quick video. I didn't even plan on filming today, but you know, I ran into this issue. I figured you guys might want to know how to check this kind of stuff. It's kind of more involved. It's a little bit more difficult. Luckily for me, my problem was actually easy. But if you guys like what you saw, drop a like up on this video, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.